सोलमेट्स। अब इम्पॉर्टेंट बात है कि सोलमेट होता क्या है एंड डू सोलमेट्स रियली एग्जिस्ट। वंस यू रियलाइज दैट यू डोंट हैव अ ट्रेडिशनल फैमिली, it is easy to become obsessed with searching for a soulmate. However, do soulmates really exist is the question I always asked myself. Are we meant then for just one person? This search is fueled by a need to belong. यानी कि जो लोग अकेले ज़िंदगियाँ गुजारते हैं जिनमें सेंस ऑफ बिलोंगिंग नहीं होती, they basically are more desperately looking for a soulmate. This is because they want to feel normal and to have all of this as quickly as humanly possible. So they may then tend to make the wrong choices and the wrong outcomes can then come. You believe that finding this person is going to fix everything. ऐसा नहीं है. Nothing will be fixed till you fix yourself and till you fix your beliefs and address them. So many people who feel alone are desperate to find their soulmates. They believe that this person will give them a true sense of belonging and fix everything. ये हम उन बच्चों में ज़्यादा देखते हैं who have been bullied by their peers at school or treated badly by their teachers. तो एक सेंस ऑफ अबैंडनमेंट डेवलप होती है, और स्पेशली ये सेंस ऑफ अबैंडनमेंट इसलिए भी ज़्यादा होती है कि अगर आपके पेरेंट्स ने आपको सपोर्ट नहीं किया ड्यूरिंग देयर अपब्रिंगिंग. So this feeling of loneliness can push children especially to try online dating, entering into inappropriate relationships, getting into drugs and all sorts of things that are really very detrimental to their mental health. अब इंग्लैंड में हम बहुत देखते हैं कि अंडर एज गर्ल्स who are desperately trying to attach themselves and find themselves come into the group of people who groom them for sexual purposes because they are vulnerable, they've had a terrible upbringing, and these people then give others the sense of belonging. Attachment क्या है? एक किसी significant शख्स के साथ attach होना. जो ही हम पैदा होते हैं, हमारी attachment की पहली एग्जाम्पल है इज़ विद आवर पेरेंट्स. सो एडल्ट रिलेशनशिप्स स्टेम फ्रॉम आवर अटैचमेंट स्टाइल्स विच वी हैव बीन गिवन बाय आवर पेरेंट्स. अगर तो आपकी एंक्शस अटैचमेंट है अपने वालिदैन की, अगर क्रिटिकल की अटैचमेंट है व्हेन यू बीन कॉन्स्टेंटली क्रिटिसाइज्ड एंड पुट डाउन एज अ चाइल्ड, पीपल टेंड टू बिहेव डिफरेंटली. जब आप एक रिलेशनशिप में होते हैं तो देर ऑल्सो व्हाट वी कॉल लव लैंग्वेजेस. वी नीड टू लर्न अबाउट दीज लव लैंग्वेजेस व्हेन वी वांट टू एंटर इनटू अ रिलेशनशिप विद अ फ्रेंड और रियली इन अ रोमांटिक रिलेशनशिप. तो ये 5 लव लैंग्वेजेस क्या हैं? ये लफ्ज़ हैं बेसिकली. सो वर्ड्स ऑफ एफर्मेशन यानी कि आपकी तारीफ़ करना या आपको एक्सेप्ट करना, कॉम्प्लीमेंट्स का मिलना. Acts of service, receiving or giving gifts is obviously a very integral part of nourishing a relationship. Most importantly is spending quality time. तो लोग कहते हैं कि जी मैं तो आपके साथ वक्त गुजार रहा हूँ, at the end of the day वो आते हैं आपके पास जब वो थके हारे होते हैं, तो ज़ाहिर है वो क्वालिटी टाइम स्पेंड नहीं हो सकता. लोग समझते हैं कि यार चले मैं आपसे 2 दफ़ा दिन में मिल लिया, लेकिन उस क्वालिटी ऑफ टाइम इज़ सो इम्पॉर्टेंट as to how you spend that time. वो आप कैसे परसीव करते हैं उस वक़्त को जो आप एक दूसरे के साथ गुजारते हैं. So physical touch is another very important language. So all these languages, 5 languages that I have told you, they need to be compatible for both individuals involved in a relationship for it to work. To be able to sit down and talk and to be able to communicate, in my opinion, is absolutely integral. Especially when you don't have a support system and you cannot certainly discuss these issues with others. So being patient whilst waiting for a soulmate is impossible. I certainly appreciate that you are looking for a support system. You are looking for somebody with whom you can share anything and everything. तो इसमें rush मत करें. So if you have someone in the ring at all, there's a saying in English, even one stick of gum that gives you a stomach ache, it still feels so much better than nothing. So don't try to settle for less. Explore, try to find out कि जो आपका सोलमेट है वो वाकई सोलमेट बनने के काबिल भी है कि नहीं. अब ये सवाल हम इस वीडियो में एड्रेस करेंगे कि what are you supposed to do when your upbringing dictates the quality of your love life. Many people agree that we often attract, और ये मैं commonly practice में देखता हूँ कि we attract people like similar to our parents. Once my daughter told me, and she was about to get married, and I said, look, you know, what sort of a person are you going to find? She said to me, I will find somebody who looks like you. I will find somebody who has the similar intellect to you. And I will most importantly find somebody who loves me as much as you do. So I was extremely touched. We're always looking for the love that we have been given to us as children. Because we are trying to solve the problem, essentially what happens is that we are trying to solve the problem of our parents not giving us enough love. We wanted love in the first place. ये तो hierarchy की सबसे basic need है प्यार, hierarchy of needs भी. So that means that if you've had great parents, you are a winner. So don't knock your parents who have looked after you. At the game of love, if you find later on in your life that if you had a bad upbringing, you are doomed to suffer. You may ask yourself, ये सवाल पूछते हैं कि is it fair that we often attract someone who can give us what our parents did or what we wish they had given us? This can be really a dramatic problem later in life. When you've had a rough childhood, it is much more difficult to make worthwhile attachments with others. चाहे वो सोलमेट की तलाश में हो, रिलेशनशिप की तलाश में हो, या इवन इन अ वर्क प्लेस वेयर वी हैव वर्कड वेरी लॉन्ग. सो बच्चे तो देखें, दे आर क्लीन स्लेट्स. वी आर नॉट बॉर्न नोइंग हाउ टू लव एनीवन. वी हैव टू बी टॉट दीज थिंग्स by our parents, which is their prime responsibility. So either ourselves or somebody else will teach us these things, perhaps our siblings, perhaps our teachers, perhaps our mentors. So how we are born, we are able to respond as kids to care. अब कुछ बच्चे जो अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ अटैच नहीं होते और अपने ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स के ज़्यादा अटैच्ड होते हैं या अपनी आंट्स और अंकल से अटैच्ड होते हैं, वो इसलिए ज़्यादा अटैच्ड होते हैं कि वो उनका ख्याल रखते हैं, वो उनको चॉकलेट्स, टॉफ़ीज़, केयर, प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं. Whether we learn how to love ourselves and others will depend upon the presence of a loving environment. ये बेइंतहा important है. So once you understand what you need as an adult, you will start to have success in life and love people. A child who has grown up with absent or abusive parents, they still can do well and they can go in either direction. यानी कि अगर बच्चा एक अच्छे माहौल में नहीं पला तो वो दो चीज़ें कर सकता है. या वो उसको पॉजिटिवली सोचे एज एन एडल्ट कि यार जो मेरे साथ हुआ है मैं अपने बच्चों के साथ नहीं करूँगा, या वो ये सोचे कि यार मेरे साथ तो इतनी ज़्यादती हुई है, यही चीज़ें ठीक हैं, तो लिहाजा मैं भी अपने बच्चों के साथ ये भी करूँगा, वो भी बड़े हो ही जाएंगे गिरते पड़ते. यू नो, आई थिंक गोइंग डाउन द फर्स्ट रूट इज़ मच बेटर देन गोइंग डाउन द सेकेंड रूट, एंड इट्स अ मैटर ऑफ हाउ यू परसीव दीज थिंग्स. आपको proud parent बनना है, not a punitive parent. Although you may want to wipe up all your childhood and past trauma, but the pain and suffering may remain as an adult. I think you need to forgive your parents, really, because एक parent का जो experience होता है of becoming a parent is what they have been, as to how they have been parented themselves. अगर उनकी आपके वालिदैन की अच्छी स्टेबल पेरेंटिंग होगी तो ये बहुत पॉसिबल है कि वो ही अच्छी पेरेंटिंग आपको पास ऑन करेंगे. लेकिन अगर उनकी अपनी पेरेंटिंग, अब मैं अक्सर ये कहता हूँ कि देखें, हर माँ बाप जो हैं वो किसी स्कूल कॉलेज में जाते तो हैं नहीं टू बिकम पेरेंट्स. हमें बहुत कुछ सिखाया जाता है, बट वी आर नॉट टॉट एज टू हाउ टू बी गुड पेरेंट्स. So sometimes forgiving your parents as to how they brought you up is maybe also a way forward and try to understand their own circumstances. मशवरा यही है to try to become a proud parent, and if you have learned the lesson and have become a good parent, so despite your own deprivations as a child and suffering, इसको acknowledge करें, अपने आप को शाबाश दें, and at the back of your mind you must kind of think, and even in the forefront of your mind, that you have raised yourself to become a better human being and you've done well. Loving without fear. जो लोग बचपन में, जैसे मैंने कहा, या स्कूल में scarred होते हैं, जिनके रिश्ते अच्छे नहीं होते हैं, they have great difficulty in loving others. वो हमेशा समझते हैं, जिनके पास traumatic experiences होते हैं, especially in previous relationships, their confidence is really shattered. But my advice to you is love without fear. And I think that's the only way to be in a relationship. Do not have casual sex to shake off feelings of loneliness by hooking up people on the internet or various websites. Try to enter into a stable relationships. I was having a discussion with a friend of mine, and I was amazed to kind of look up things that there are many types of relationships other than stable relationships and relationships of marriage. There are now civil relationships, situational relationships, that you enter into a situation, you like somebody, you develop a relationship that may go on for a few months or 6 months, or a placeholder relationship where you like somebody and you put them in a particular place in your life and for a particular need, and then when those needs are dealt with by either of the partner, these relationships finish. Another relationship is a micro relationship, which means that you maybe meet somebody for a few weeks, you decide to perhaps enjoy their company, have sex, and they are these days what is known as nano relationships or nanoships, which may well be a one-night stand or whatever. So Gen Z and Gen Alpha have crafted this lingoship, and I feel that this is very relevant to the modern world. ये relationships क्यों drive होते हैं, ये बहुत ज़रूरी है. ये relationships इसलिए drive होते हैं कि हम अपनी loneliness को combat नहीं कर सकते. We are not comfortable being alone without a close connection. So best is to have a connection with somebody where you're emotionally connected, and where you're able to love the experience of what love is truly all about. Finding love when you really want it can obviously be extremely difficult, and this is what drives people into casual relationships or nano relationships or micro relationships. It is essentially a tactic to preserve yourself, to combat loneliness, but you're also still looking for love at the same time. Telling someone not to look for love is pointless. No, people are not willing to wait because the pain of being alone is tremendous, and it is, I think, more painful to be alone and not feel wanted. It is more painful than having the pain of pancreatitis or the pain of a heart attack. मशवरा यही है कि be yourself and go all in full throttle when it comes to love. Don't hold yourself back. Don't try to change yourself. People who often feel alone also feel that they need to change themselves to find someone. But ऐसा भी हो सकता है ना कि अगर आपने अपने आप को किसी के लिए change किया, so sometimes this isn't the case, but if you do this, how you can be sure that the other person who does fall for you loves you in a genuine manner, and whether they will still value the changes that you have brought in yourself for them. So इस तरह अपने आप को इतना tremendously change करना किसी और के लिए perhaps is not सही, घाटे का सौदा है मेरे ख्याल में. It's like living a lie, and in the end I suggest that you should just go for it as you are, the way you are, the way you think, but love fearlessly and accept the fact that eventually pain may come and acknowledge that. However, Not getting enough love does not mean that you're not likable or lovable. And when you are not in a relationship, you should accept that this is not worthwhile. So it is better to accept and withdraw and take emotional control and manage your pain. So genuine relationships should not be painful. This is my very informed view on life, having lived life for a long time and having been in this field for many years and seeing people for many years. So if you are feeling that you need to change your partner, and if you are always in pain because of the relationship, or you feel insecure when you are with your partner, the relationship cannot be right for you. It is definitely wrong. So you need to do something about it. Try to get out of it.